name is Sarah Lecumber. I'm the Student Resource Centre Manager here at TUS Midlands on the Athlone campus. Oh, it's exhausting, isn't it? When you're coming to college, there's so much to think about. Well, look, I want to show you around, tell you about a few supports when you come here, and tell you how we can help you during your time here. The thing to remember when you're in TUS is we're part of one big community of staff and students. Everybody is super friendly, really wants you to succeed, wants to help you if you get stuck along the way. And there are different supports, specific supports that you might need to access when you're here. So come with me, we'll have a little look around and we'll meet a few people today. Now we're going to head over to the Students' Union, and you always know how to get there because you see a fish here in the distance. That's a great place to meet people, actually, to meet you at the fish. So the Students' Union is here in the John McCormack building. We head over to the Students' Union and Counselling and Health in the John McCormack building. I want to orientate you to where we are. So main reception is this way as you come into the main campus. Over here, tucked in, little silvery doors there on the left, is the open access area. And you think, what is an open access area? It's actually the computer room. We need to rename it, but the computer room is over here, loads of computers. You can go in there, do your work assignments and work away. All the Wi-Fi is enabled. And just up the hill here is the beautiful international arena, playing fields, running track, you name it. Around the corner, as you turn the corner, is where you'd head up. If you were on foot, you'd head up the hill to the engineering building. And as I'm facing here, the East Campus is just over that way. So just to kind of give you a feel for the way things are, often people might say, I'll see you near the fish. That's a good meeting point in your first few days, or in the main canteen. And I'm opposite the business school as I'm standing here. So let's go, we'll head on over. Oh, and before I forget it, a really important thing for you. I know it's a bit of a bore sometimes, but you do have to keep up with your official documentation and all the communication. So you're going to have to keep on top of your TUS email. Make sure and go in and check that. It's not good enough to say, oh, I didn't know. It'll always be on the email, all the official communications relating to your fees, your results, all that kind of good stuff. So get in on the email and get into the habit of checking it every few days. That's a good habit. Okay, we'll head on up. So as we go in here, the Students' Union is on the ground floor. We're going to be meeting with an important person for you to get to know while you're here. And then just above the Students' Union is the Health and Counselling Suite. So they're also great places for you to know. It's all quiet here today. It won't be like this when you're here. So you never know who you'll meet in the Students' Union. I'm hoping Robin's going to be here today so we can have a chat with Robin. She's a Student Experience Officer throughout TUS. It's great to meet you today.
You too.
Over here in the Midlands SU. Yeah. And I know you get around all the campuses, don't you?
Yeah, so I'm based across all 7 campuses, 7 including our new campus in Coona. So,
oh, yeah. Fantastic. Tell us about your job. I know you have a very long, exciting title, first of all.
So my title is Student Participation and Engagement Coordinator. So yeah, it's a very multifaceted role. So it encompasses loads of different things. So whether that's working on our physical spaces, so, you know, maybe introducing new things to get our students engaged. So like we have pool tables here in the Midlands, ping pong table, we have a foods table there right beside you. So it's making the space more open for people. We do that with different colours and stuff like that. So just working on the physical space.
So the spaces including Clonmel, Thurles, Ennis, now Coona. Yeah, brilliant.
Exactly. So it's working on getting those spaces for students, because we found that when we ask students what's the most important thing for them, they often do say student space, just to hang out with their friends.
Fabulous.
So that's really important for me. My role covers many different things, as I said, though. So that's working with our officers on campaigns and events.
Okay.
So they could be cross-regional events or they could be campus-specific events. So we like to tailor it to the students, because there's different types of students doing different courses on each campus. Yeah. So different events work differently.
And you're catering to all needs. So it's
Exactly.
it's not just the student who is out clubbing all night.
No.
It's people who are engaging in different societies, and you're working closely with Tracy and societies as well.
Yeah, like we've had kind of great engagement. One of our part-time officers here, she's organised some great events, Amanda. So she'll be working with the clubs and societies. So she's the chairperson. So there is a lot of kind of working together, and as well, like clubs and socks are such a good way to engage our students
and to make friends.
And to get students that are willing to take the lead, because that's all you need is one student willing to take the lead, and then lots of people kind of
it helps break the ice. So your job is different to the elected officer roles in that you're on staff here and you'll be here over a longer period of time, whereas the officers are only in, and it'll be different year to year. So the officers they see this year might be different to the officers that are here next year, but you providing the continuity then between that.
So the idea is to kind of create a foundation to see what works and what doesn't work, so that we can build on that year upon year, because you do have officers and you lose that when people kind of drop off. You lose the experience.
So you have the continuity, and you can always improve it year on year. And tell me now, you've been a student more recently than I've been a student, Robin.
I have.
What would you tell yourself if you were starting out in first year again? What advice would you give yourself?
Go easy on yourself, I think.
Yeah.
Is probably the biggest thing for me, because there's so much pressure from so many different sides, whether it's from parents or guardians or
social pressures, money pressures. Am I smart enough? Yeah.
Exactly. There's just many different pressures. And I felt like my biggest struggle anyway, it might be different for different people, but my biggest struggle was struggling to know when to take a break, to know when to, not feel guilty about not being in the library at 9 a.m. when you see people there before you. That was, for me, that was the biggest thing. So it was to kind of know when to take a break and know when to say, okay, I've done my bit and my brain is overloaded, so I can. And
what about asking for help? Is that something people need to think about?
Oh, I definitely think so. Like, for me, it's definitely one of the biggest things that I did, especially in my final year. When I got to my final year, it was reaching out to friends. Like I think you really underestimate the power of having your lunch break with your friends and even just talking to each other and venting a bit. And it really does take a lot of the pressure off, and to just open up and ask for help. Yeah.
So to get to that happy place where you can vent to your lovely friend, you have to make the effort to make the friend in the first place.
Yeah.
And we'd be encouraging people to maybe try a bit, come out of yourself a bit, push yourself on to make that connection.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the SU is here for as well, is to try to create that space where people are open and willing, and they're kind of putting themselves out of the comfort zone.
Yeah.
You need to do that. I think that's what university is about. It's about throwing yourself in the deep end and hoping.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, more than not, people are very excited and happy that they've taken the risk. And
on the other side, people are so grateful if someone else has made the move to break the ice. I met a woman, and I hadn't talked to her in a long time, 25 years. And she said, I remember you on the first day because you turned around and said, hi, my name is Sarah. What's your name? And for some, it's easier than others. Some may be more outgoing than others, but to kind of put yourself out there. And she said she was so relieved that someone actually spoke with her. And, we stayed friends then throughout that time. So, look, make the effort and don't leave anyone behind.
Yeah, exactly.
You have a Mind Your Mates program as well around that. Yeah. Tell us about that.
So Mind Your Mates is basically to kind of just look out for your peers and our welfare. So Kirsty's great. She's basically going to work. To kind of to help people
look out for each other,
support each other, and also know the systems, like when to draw your own boundaries as well. Because if you feel like as a student that you might be taking on too much, it's to know the system of like how to refer your friend and stuff like that. So it's about taking your personal boundaries as well, because you can take on a lot of maybe what somebody has to say, and that can weigh you down then.
So and on a night out as well, you'd be minding your mates.
Yeah, of course. Night out, and then of course like spiking incidents and things like that. Just to kind of look out for them in outside of the university as well.
And it's part of our community ethos here. Really, we all look out for each other. Yeah, brilliant, great. Well, look, thanks for taking the time to talk to us today, and we'll see you around.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you.
Now, if you head up the stairs from the Students' Union, you'll find the health centre at the top. It's a beautiful suite of offices. We're very happy with them. And in with the health centre, you have counselling as well. Come on in. It's a lovely space, confidential, No one's going to see your records between the academic and the health side. That's all protected. So you can come here on a confidential basis, make an appointment to see the counsellor or to see the sexual health service or the regular health service. It's all available to you and it's all free of charge, which is brilliant. So here we are. This is the Student Health and Counselling Centre. We're going to pop inside. So this is the waiting room area. What's great about it is nobody knows whether you have a sore toe or a sore heart. So it's a great space to wait confidentially until you're met by a counsellor or the nurse. Come with me. Oh, look, it's Laura. This is Laura Tully from our Sexual Health Service. Can we have a chat, Laura? Yeah. So Laura, tell us about the health service. So you've two things going on here in the health service.
Yeah, we've a comprehensive service here. We have a full medical centre, we've nursing staff, we have doctors coming in, and we also have a unique service in that the HSE fund a sexual health and contraception service here. So essentially it's a full medical and nursing service here on campus.
So the sexual health, we're the only ones in Ireland, isn't that right?
That's right. So it's a great resource for students and we invite students to use it or use it.
Yeah.
And certainly from any aspect of your sexual health and well-being, whether that's STI testing, whether that's treatment, whether that's follow-up, vaccinations, women's health, men's health, sexual function, sexual dysfunction, and also then a complete contraception care service here on campus.
And that's fantastic because it's free, isn't it, at the moment?
It's free right up to the age of 31 at the moment. And if you don't qualify for that, it's very low cost here. In fact, all of our nursing services are free to the students. They're fully funded by their contribution and it's a very low cost GP service then.
And how much is it to see the GP?
So it's only €15. The student pays 15, the college bulks up the rest of that payment. So it's very affordable. We're very accessible, as you can see here, right in the heart of campus.
Yeah.
It's quite easy to get an appointment compared to the world outside of the campus.
Oh, for sure. It's very hard to get into a doctor outside.
And certainly if you're a student and you're sick today, contact us. You find all of the ways to contact us on our website and we will look after you on the day.
So when it comes to health, what we don't want is health issues getting in the way of students and their studies. And that's why we have the service on site, really.
Our job really is to provide that medical support, the education, empower students to look after themselves so that your illness or any medical issue doesn't get in the way of you completing your studies. And that's our goal here. And in that we can help prevent illness, we can help treat it, and we can help you manage it and give you the tools to support you here on campus.
And so for students who might be coming here from home, they've never been away from home before, they might be used to a parent making a medical appointment for them or looking after those kinds of things. What advice would you give them in terms of looking after their own health as an adult now coming to college?
Yeah, so you have to take ownership of it. It's your body, your mind. You have to look after that. We'll help you and support you and give you the tools to do that. But I suppose we have made it very easy for students. So when you go onto our webpage on the website, there actually is one click to make an appointment. So whether that's emailing us or finding out about a walk-in service that might be available, or you can just simply click the self-referral form and that's open 24/7 and then you'll be in line for an appointment. So it couldn't be easier.
Couldn't be easier because students are very comfortable usually clicking in and finding out information. But if you prefer, you can phone. As well, absolutely. Or you can call over to the centre because we have Audrey at the front desk there who'll be able to direct you.
If someone has their device in their hand right now, they might as well put the phone number into the phone. It's great to have it, or someone in your house or your commute share might need that number. So it's 09064 68063.
Brilliant.
That's the health centre.
That's fantastic, Laura. That's great. And any advice to students in the first semester, particularly where they might be feeling a little bit nervous, trying to find their way around, and maybe they're used to going to a GP at home and they don't know how that'll be. Could they be worried then that you might share their information with?
Yeah, that's an important one. That absolutely, we are completely separate from the academic.
And confidential.
File. So it's completely confidential. Your files do not form part of your academic records here and they're never shared with anyone without your explicit
Not even with me.
Never.
So
we operate by full code of medical conduct and nursing conduct in that regard. And then as regards the advice, there's 4 things I say to keep right for students. So number 1 is your sleep. Number 2 is your diet. Try and eat healthy. Try and get a little bit of colour onto that plate, whether it's fruit, whether it's vegetables. Eat right, sleep right. And then naturally your mind will follow. So you kind of keep your stressing under control, and then move your body. So get some movement into your day. College is very busy. Your timetable is very tightly compacted, but just try and make room for some movement every day. And if you do those 4 things throughout life and throughout college, you shouldn't need to be seeing us too.
Laura, I should have been writing them down for myself here. Hold on. What was that? Move more.
Move more, sleep well, eat
Excellent.
right, and keep your stress in balance.
Okay, next time you see me, you can ask me if I've been doing that.
But look, if you haven't and something crops up, that's what we're here for, and we look after our students as best we can.
Brilliant. Thanks a million, Laura. Great to chat with you.
Problem. Nice to see
God, that was some great advice from Laura. I could do with a bit of that myself. Not great on the old sleep. But anyway, look, it's a work in progress. Nobody's going to be perfect. But the great thing is that there's people here to help and advise you. And actually, Laura and the team will be sending out regular updates throughout Connect and Engage as well. There's going to be some health-related theme weeks that you'll hear about when you're here. So what we might do is head this way and we'll go down and chat with counselling.
Come on.
Come on.
Come. Delighted to have you visit, Sarah.
Oh, fabulous. I always love coming over to your beautiful offices here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Take a seat. I'm going to give the others a shout, actually.
Do.
Sarah's here to
Oh,
have
we've
a
got
chat
the
with us.
whole family. Fantastic.
Great to see you.
Hi, everybody.
And Deirdre.
Hi.
And Kathy.
Hi. How you doing?
Just a few of the staff that we have in the counselling service. Lads, might have a chat about the counselling service. Can you introduce the service and tell people what it's all about?
Lovely to have you visiting, Sarah, today and on a beautiful, sunny Athlone day. So my name is Trassa Fox. I'm the head of student counselling into Athlone. And I suppose we're just going to have a chat about the services, really, isn't it?
Yeah, just to have people become familiar about what's available to them when they come here as a student, and to encourage them to avail of the service.
Okay, well, this is some of the team. We have a range of counsellors who work with us throughout the academic year. So basically, you've paid for your counselling support through your fees. So when you register as a full-time student in Athlone, you're entitled to use the counselling service for free. It's absolutely confidential. So our records and any contact that we have with you is entirely separate from any of your academic records. There's no discussion.
So a lecturer won't know that you're attending the counselling service?
Never. No.
And people can be assured of that.
People can be assured of that. Sometimes, I suppose, when we're working with students and they have particular issues going on that are particularly acute, we will have a chat with them about maybe having that contact with the academic staff, but that will happen at the student's request and with the student's permission. The only exception to that is if somebody's at risk, and obviously we take everybody's safety and well-being really, really seriously. So we're based in these, as you say, beautiful offices right next door to Laura and the team in the health centre, and we offer appointments typically from 9 a.m. in the morning and do some evening appointments up to 9 p.m. And normally the way students register for our service is to go into the portal on the Counselling Midlands website. And you'll set up an account in the portal, and that's your account for all of the time that you're here with us in Two Midlands.
So they can register online, Trassa?
So they create the portal, and then you'll be asked to do a registration. So send in that registration, a couple of wellbeing forms that tells us how you're doing and how quickly we need to get in touch with you. If it's very urgent, we'll try and get in touch really, really quickly with you and get appointments with some of the team. Yes, that's typically how students make contact. But we do understand that students can become very overwhelmed or very distressed. Maybe some incidents have happened or something that's been quite trying. So we offer walk-in appointments every day between 2 and 3. So that means literally you just check in with the administrator out of the corridor.
Yeah.
There's no registration forms to be filled in at that point, and then you take a seat in the waiting room and you'll meet one of the team for typically around 30 minutes, just to see what it is you need in that day, in that moment, and we'll tee you up with that.
What about for people who are thinking, oh, my problem isn't big and I feel silly going with this problem, or I don't know if this warrants counselling? How should they approach that?
The way we put it is anything that's interfering with your functioning, be it in college, be it socially, be it, in terms of how you're feeling within yourself. If it's having an impact over a number of days, what we'd say is come fast and come early.
Yeah.
all problems are easier to resolve in the earlier parts before it runs on. Maybe, let's say, if it's an anxiety issue, those things tend to get bigger over time if your normal strategies for managing them aren't working. So, look, we have time, we have scope. We have a great team. Thankfully, we're really well supported by the university. We have a really, really good team. We're quite responsive. We're far quicker in responding than any of the external services would be. So come early. Don't suffer.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy. I don't
You're a
think we've
friendly
ever,
bunch.
we've never ever, I think, come up against a situation or a student where we said this is just not relevant. It's all relevant. It affects you.
And it's all relative to you, isn't it?
Exactly.
Someone else might have more things going on, but that doesn't mean that yours is any less important.
Well, the thing about it, exactly what you said, it's all relative. So what is going on for you, if it's impacting your functioning, if it's impacting how you're feeling, how you're getting through the day, which is quite different than maybe the person next to you. And we all have different tolerances and we all have different life experiences. That means that what's going on for you is valid for you, the next person.
On mental health, for good reason. And you're hearing a lot about celebrities who are very open about their own mental health journeys. Tell us about mental health in relation to coming to college.
Okay, well, we offer a lot in terms of psychoeducational workshops relating to your mental health, especially in relation to how your well-being impacts your academic performance.
Yeah.
So we try to bring that out to our students and speak to them about that it's not just your skill and your talent and the amount of time and effort that you put into your studies. It's also about, are you physically well? Are you, how
Are you sleeping okay?
Are you sleeping okay?
Yeah.
Are you eating okay? Are you nourishing yourself? Are you hydrated? Are you getting enough sunlight during the day? All of the physicals, we cannot forget the basics. Then we move into like our psychological health, how are we having a growth mindset? How are we thinking about things?
Tell me about that thing now, growth mindset. What the hell is that?
If you think of anybody, we're looking at academic performance here, but if you think of a professional athlete, it's not just the skill they do. They have to have a sense of belief in themselves, know that they can do it. If we're talking negatively to ourselves all the time, it impacts on how we are, how we present in the world. So it's really about trying to reframing that inner dialogue that we all have in ourselves to be more compassionate as well.
So when people are judging themselves then against Instagram and what's happening, and that's all very airbrushed, isn't it? And
exactly. Be able to take a step back from that, And then the other triangle, as I think about it, is your social well-being. So are you feeling connected? There's loads of opportunities within the college to feel that social connection, be it through your societies, your friends, your lecturers, all of these areas. So these 3 years are really important in terms of your overall academic performance.
And when you say about psychoeducation, you're not teaching people how to be psychos now. What does that mean? What does that mean?
It's more about education in relation to yourself, how you are, and your well-being.
So you'd be running little workshops.
So we do workshops on...
I've done the meditation with you guys. It's fabulous.
Great, yeah. So Olivia runs our meditation.
Yeah.
They're done twice weekly. We do workshops, as I said, on the well-being and learning, but we also do workshops on, say, managing your transition. So we focus, say, on the Erasmus students that are going out to learn abroad or to work abroad, but also the students coming in, the first year students coming in and that transition, that initial transition to university and trying to normalise that.
It's a big change, isn't it?
Change, yeah.
Sometimes moving away from home, having to do your own washing, commuting, all those things. It's a big change. And even things like the demands of college. You're an adult now and you're part of this community, and that can feel strange initially, and you might be trying to negotiate the relationship at home because you're trying to spread your wings, and maybe your parents or your guardian might be struggling with that idea. They want to let you flourish, but they still want to mind you.
Yeah.
And any change, there's kind of a loss can be so.
Yes, of course.
So it's really minding themselves in terms of that, maintaining the things that they did before that kept them well, but also looking at the new areas, the new friendships.
And the opportunities. Is it all one-to-one, sitting on a chair in a nice office like this, or how does it work?
I suppose, as Tress already said, we have the one-to-ones, and you just mentioned the group.
Yeah.
We also, I suppose, have partner services, and we've partnered with Together All, and that's a digital online mental health platform.
Say that again for me.
A digital-
Together all, and it's a digital.
online mental health platform.
Fantastic.
So it's available to all of our students. You'll be able to sign on using your student email. It's completely anonymous, so you make up a lovely username for yourself. Nobody knows that it's you.
So you could have an avatar type name.
Completely, whatever you want,
Yeah.
as long as it's not taken already.
Yeah.
You have it for yourself, and you can access it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's a huge student population on this, so you will find people who are going through exactly the same as you are. It's a fantastic place to make connections, and there's loads of courses in it. So, how to make the connections, maybe how to make friends, how to settle in.
So you'd be talking to other students like yourself. And I know it's moderated by counsellors, so to keep it safe, to make sure that there's no unsafe talk happening in the space. Yeah, exactly.
If you write something, and somebody will come back to you and talk about their experiences.
Yeah.
And the wall guides, which they're called, the counsellors monitor completely 24/7 as well. So, it's a really safe place to actually explore how you're feeling. And there's a huge amount of resources on There's courses, there's lots of stuff for procrastination, one of the things that we see.
Oh gosh, where's that one? I need to get that one.
So that's on as well. You can do the course for it. So it's a fantastic resource. We're very lucky to have it, and we'd encourage everybody to use it as alongside of ourselves.
So let me understand. How do I access it if I'm a student wanting to find out about this Together All? Where do I go?
So togetherall.com, you use your student email and you pick out whatever.
Your own choose email.
Your own choose email, and it's completely free. So sign on as soon as you come.
That's fantastic.
And there's a wealth of resources there. You won't be sorry that you've joined it.
And am I right in thinking there's people from all around the world using it?
There's a huge student population, and it's a fantastic resource to have, and it's a great place to make connections and find people who are going through the exact same thing. And because it's 24/7, you could find it at the weekends or in the evenings when maybe there's nobody around, and you can just
When you might be lonely in the middle of the night, or
Just
it's a safe space.
Just maybe kind of chat to others who are maybe feeling the exact same way as yourself.
So it's a great supplement then to the one-to-one counselling or checking in.
Yeah.
Having that chat, the initial chat about whether or not you want to engage in counselling.
Yeah, I suppose what we say about Together All is that it's a population level, so it's for everybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be, necessarily where you feel like you're having any sort of mental health crisis, mental health difficulty.
It's for wellness.
It's for the normal wellness,
As much as anything, yeah.
Transition, student life, and all the challenges that go with that. 10 assignments to have in this particular week, and X and Y is going on in my life. So it's for all students, really. It's, we try and promote it to every student coming in, that there's something for everybody in Together All.
And guys, tell us about the academic year. You come in September, and there'll be peaks and troughs. So people are naturally excited when they come in first, full of trepidation, I'm sure, as well. I certainly was bricking it on a daily basis when I was here first. I remember agonising about, what do I wear to look like a real student when I came here? Yeah. I want to look like I belong and like I fit in. So with the peaks and troughs, what do you find in the counselling service?
Gosh, I'll go first. I think we can kind of stress ourselves out about how to be a university student. The reality being, I think, isn't it, that everybody's experiences of coming to college and settling into college is going to be kind of in some ways unique and in some ways similar to other people. Yeah. But the reality is nobody has this licked.
No one has it. They might look like they do.
Exactly.
But they don't.
Everybody's struggling with some element of it and some aspect of it. But I think the thing about it is that that's normative. That's normal. Yeah. I think you used the word here to there. I think compassionate about ourselves, but compassionate about other people. I think we have a really special community here in Athlone, in the university, and it is all about that compassionate and support of each other. And all of our students, all of you guys coming in are going to be then part of our support network, because we talk about different layers of support. So we're kind of at this level here, if you think of a triangle, and there are other supports at that level.
Now with that, the whole making a friend thing, that can be daunting, because some people might have friends coming in and others are more introverted or extroverted, but certainly we'd be encouraging people to be kind to each other, to reach out, invite someone for coffee, never leave someone out.
Sometimes, what's really helpful is when we're in a strange situation or a new situation is to kind of lessen the focus on the self and improve, isn't it? Increase the focus on other people. So actually what we know, you did a fabulous workshop on this, compassion.
Yeah.
And reaching out and being supportive of other people actually has a massive impact on our own mental health.
On your well-being.
Yep.
It's like giving gives you
Yep,
something.
absolutely.
Yeah. The random acts of kindness, things like that.
Olivia and we had a placement student, and she spent a couple of days in various different buildings around talking about that, about random acts of kindness and just giving of yourself. Yeah. And it was just amazing to hear students talk about like just how it made them feel. Yeah. So I think sometimes what we can do is take the pressure off ourselves a little bit by focusing on ourselves and how are we doing, and think about, well, how are we impacting other people? So
that's right.
We'd be encouraging people to do that, I think.
Yeah, and it is very much a community here. Staff, students, we all sit in the canteen together, and people will greet you, you'll find. People are very friendly, and there's no such thing as a closed door, unless there's a one-to-one session going on. Isn't that right? Great. Well, look, it's fantastic. Oh, sorry.
Well, like Tressa was saying about being kind to yourself, you're not going to be used to this situation. It's very different from coming in from secondary school.
Yeah.
So there's so much to adjust to, and it's giving yourself that time and being kind and being empathic with yourself. And I need a bit of time with this, and taking it easy and just taking a day by day approach, and knowing that people are here for you if you need it.
And I think people look back at the end of the year and go, wow, it's passed so quickly, and what you've learned and what you tell yourself on the first day versus what you know now. And it is an iterative process where people are just finding their way, find out where the loos are, where you get your photocopying done, get your locker sorted, get situated, make a few friends, have a chat with the person sitting beside you in the class. And it'll all come right, hopefully, in the end. And if it doesn't, if the wheels come off a little bit, there are qualified professional staff here to have a confidential chat if you need it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Fantastic. Thanks a million. Great to meet you
Thanks
today.
for calling,
and we'll see you
Sarah.
around, guys. Great to meet everybody up in Health and Counselling and the Students' Union. We'll head out this way. Here we are, we're at the start of the D corridor. It actually runs parallel to the canteen, so you'll be able to easily pop into anyone here on the D corridor if you're in getting a bite to eat or meeting a friend. Just inside now from the reception area. The first place along the way to introduce you to would be the Societies officer. We're going to pop in here and have a chat. Tracy, how are you? I'm going to make myself comfortable. Oh, great to see you today. You're whizzing in from various campuses around the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, too wide. How do you do it? You must be in different places every day, are you?
I am, but I think initially, kind of semester one, it's about building foundations and relationships with the students.
Oh, yeah.
And once we kind of have that sorted, then we can move to kind of the online space.
Brilliant.
I travel around weekly, so I have appointments with students every week. I have a WhatsApp group. They have my mobile number. So I'm ever on the other end of some sort of technology.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I know in the first semester in particular, there tends to be a number of events that you're working around, isn't there? So if a student is coming in now here in September, when is the first time that they might see you?
During Connect and Engage, we'll have our clubs and SOCs day. So that'll take place here in the Athlone campus, and for the Midwest on the Milesh campus.
Great.
So every society that is established will have a sign-up day, but it also gives new students or students who've decided to take part this year a chance to come to me with an idea, and we'll set up a table and offer interest to every other student.
Fantastic. Now, I'm trying to think back to my day. I'm going to really date myself. Mostly in my day, we thought about societies when we saw American movies of high school and college, and there was societies and fraternities and those kinds of things. But I suppose now people are familiar with the idea of societies through the likes of transition year.
Yeah.
What's it like when you come to college? What's the difference with societies in college?
I think where you might be limited at second level, third level brings a whole new flavour. So you can bring your own ideas. You don't have to kind of row into what's already there.
So they could invent their own society if they wanted to.
We have societies from your social, academic, political, the arts, anything, book clubs, LGBT plus society.
Yeah. So there's a whole gambit of things.
We have 80 across all of TUS.
That's a great number.
So hopefully this year we'll add to that with new, fresh ideas with our new students.
So would I be right to say that there's something for everybody?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have an idea, you just come to me. I've yet to turn down one.
Great.
Everything works from once you're a registered student, full-time, part-time, distance learner.
International students, you name it.
Yeah, we have a huge international society both on the Midwest campus and here in the Midlands.
Fantastic. And I know myself, it's a great way to meet people. If you're coming here and you don't know anybody, a great way to break the ice and find similar like-minded people who might be interested in the same thing as you.
Yeah, like you're not limited to making friends on your own, within your own.
Yes.
It gives a chance to meet students across all programs.
And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Getting to know people. And people could be a bit worried about that thing of how will I make a friend? How will I find my tribe?
Yeah.
What advice would you give to people?
Join as many societies as possible.
Yeah.
We'll have a calendar of events this year, and you don't have to become a member, but you'll see what's on every day of the week, and you can fill your evenings or your afternoons. Yeah. However way you time.
Just, I wish I was a student again. That would be great. Now, it can be challenging, I know, because people have sometimes part-time jobs or they're commuting and they've different demands and pressures. So it is hard to fit it all in.
It is. But where we try to kind of hold meetings, kind of when you join a society, we'll do like, we'll give you an opportunity to allow or see what your timetable allows.
Yes.
But we'll facilitate maybe 2 meetings in the week where it might suit one cohort, but then second chance for the others.
So if you have if your timetable is full on the Tuesday, it might be free on the Thursday or whatever. Yeah. Oh, very good. So you're trying to cater to everybody there.
Trying.
Fantastic. Well, look, it's lovely to meet you, Tracy. Thanks a million. And we'll be seeing you around.
Thanks very much.
Thanks. Chatting to Tracy. And Tracy is across all of Tues. So she'll be sometimes in her office here in the Midlands, and she might be down in the Midwest, on Clonmel, Thurles. She gets around. Now, the next place we'd like to go into now here is the access service. This one can be confusing for people because what does access mean? And I want to pick that apart with Jenny Burke, our access officer. She's going to tell you all about it. Come with me.
Thanks, Sarah.
Jenny, you are a fabulous access officer here in the Midlands, and people might wonder, what does that mean, access? What's it all about? Can you tell us?
I can. So the Access Department works both pre-entry, which is inviting people into TUS, showing them what education in university is all about. Those mainly in disadvantaged communities like traveller, Roma, lone parents, mature students. And then the other side of our role is post-entry. So we offer support here for students, such as the Student Assistance Fund. There's different financial bursary scholarships, and just generally a means of a link in for the students to inquire what's available.
Now, I just heard about bursaries and assistance, but am I hearing it's financial related to those support? Tell us about that. So look, it's an expensive business coming to college, isn't it?
It is, especially during the current time with the cost of living crisis. So the government give us financial supports that are available to those students that need them most. So we have various different scholarship funds that are available on our website. We can offer information to all interested students, and after a brief chat we can let you know whether it's open to you or if there's something else we can recommend instead.
Oh, fantastic. Now, I've heard about this great website called studentfinance.ie. If anyone wanted, there might be parents looking at this video even, just to familiarise themselves with all the different financial supports that are available when you come to college.
Exactly. That is a great website. It's a great link. You can look at all the different financial incentives are listed there, so we can just work away and have a little look. And if you've got any queries, parents or students can email us at access.midlands@tus.ie.
That's fantastic, and we'll make sure to have that in the link tree associated with this video, so people will be able to go in and look at the details on there about how to get in touch and stuff.
Great.
That's fantastic. And you work with a team of people here, Jenny, in terms of post-entry support. So when students come in, they might come in through the HERE scheme. Is that right?
That's correct. So we have a great member of our team called Carmel Hennessy, and she links in directly with all of our HERE students that come in through that scheme. And then we have our very own Traveller Roma dedicated student support worker, Mary Tracy. So she's there to offer unique one-to-one support for those students that are coming in from either of those two communities.
Yeah. And, people often think that they're the only ones with these kinds of problems, but I'd like to assure people that financial concerns are pretty much the concern of every student, and particularly here in TUS, over half of our students will be grant assisted even coming in through the SUSI grant. So it's very normal to have financial worries. Most people will be in the same boat.
That's it, exactly. And the good thing about the Access office is that the student can link in with us, they can inquire. It's up to them whether they want to pursue an application for anything.
Yes.
We're here very much to inform and to support, but the student very much is in charge of their own destiny as to what they want to apply for.
I love that, in charge of your own destiny. So you're the director in your own movie.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, leading parts. Fantastic. Look, thanks for your time today, Jenny, and we'll chat with you later.
Thanks, Sarah.
Right, let's head on down this way, further down the corridor. Now that's a good spot in to my right. Just inside of Starbucks, there's a photocopier here, and you can access that with your photocopy card. Ross is going to be telling you all about how you go about photocopying later. And as we progress, we're actually going to be passing by my office. I'll point it out to you. Just here on the right. The photo was from a younger year. Don't judge me. So that's Student Resource Centre Manager. That's me, Sarah Lacumber, in there. And again, this is the parallel corridor to the canteen. And we'll head straight in here now. I see the door open. We're going to go in and chat with Lisa. Hey, Lisa. I instantly feel very restful here beside your lovely lamp. It's fantastic. Lisa, you're our disability officer. And we're going to have a little chat about what happens in the disability service and how you support students here. So tell us about your job.
Well, we support students with many different disabilities and conditions to make sure they have the smoothest time possible while they're here.
Yeah. And what could those conditions be?
Most common would be specific learning difficulties like dyslexia or dyspraxia. Could be mental health, autism, ADHD, or it could be an ongoing medical condition either. But there's a few others as well.
So there could be people coming in who know about this stuff already, and in fact that they might have gotten support in second level. And then there are others who might be under pressure as they go through then, and they might need to seek out additional support. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, some people come in through DARE.
Yeah.
They would usually be aware they would more than likely have gotten support in school. So it'll be kind of a continuation of that.
Mm-hmm.
We tend to use a bit more technology, a bit more independence in college than maybe in school. Lots of options there for students. So definitely anyone who's come through the DARE scheme or anyone who's had supports in school, we absolutely encourage those to register as soon as possible. Then other students they might not be coming straight from school, or they might not have come through DARE, but they would still qualify for supports with us.
Okay.
They could also register. And then somebody else just might not be sure, and they can just come in for a chat.
For a
if it's not registering with us, that's the answer.
Yeah.
I can refer them on to one of my colleagues for other supports that are available.
Oh, brilliant. And I know you're all really friendly, really nice here, so that helps.
Yeah.
So if I'm a student coming into you for the first time or wanting to go about getting support, how do I go about that now? What are the steps? They make contact, or?
Yeah, there's a few different ways. So there's lots of information given during induction, and we do our own inductions as well. But we have an open door policy here, so there's an open session every day, Monday to Thursday from 2 to 3, if people prefer to walk in person.
Also like a walk-in hour kind of thing?
Walk-in hour,
great.
So that's just to catch people that are maybe walking past because we're just by the canteen.
Oh, that's great, and I can see the canteen just out there at your window, and my own office is just up there.
Yeah.
So they could get their cappuccino and then pop in for a chat as well.
Exactly. So it's just that more casual thing if they just want to pop in and ask a question or make an appointment. Or students can email us, so that's disability.midlands@2.ie. Lots of information on the website, and we have a registration form there as well. So they can actually go in and register on the registration form and upload their documents if they have them. That's even more efficient. But if they don't want to do that, or they have paperwork with them and they're not sure how to do that, they can just call in, email or phone, whatever suits them.
That's fantastic. And I know sometimes students might come a cropper during the year, so they may not have a disability that they're handling on an ongoing basis, but maybe they break an arm coming up close to an exam or something. What happens with that?
Yeah, so we can do temporary exam supports for somebody who has an issue directly, kind of in the month before the exams.
Yeah.
Sometimes students who are pregnant might need support, or as you said, an injury is quite common, like a broken wrist or something, where they can't write, and we would help them with that.
Oh, brilliant. And tell me, Lisa, and I know it can get hectic. It seems calm here today, but when the term is in full swing, that's a busy zone out in the canteen. There's people moving around. It can start to feel overwhelming. Depending on whether or not you might have a challenge in terms of managing your anxiety. What's available for people who might be suffering from under that kind of cloud or anxious with all the noise and hubbub.
Well, we would tell every student who registers with us about our counselling service here available on site. That's absolutely excellent.
And we'll be meeting counsellors. Yeah.
And they're great for anything to do with homesickness or making friends or just getting used to the college campus. And then as well as that, I think it's important for people to get to know the campus and find the areas that they like. So there's busier parts, there's quiet parts, there's quieter areas. Some students love to go into the library. And then there's others, like lots of seating areas around the campus as well. And we've put some purple chairs in a few areas as well, just for people to sit in and just
nice quiet zones. For little chillax areas, and over in the SU as well.
Yeah, and there's some nice seating areas in engineering and in the HTL building, but people will find their way in their own area of the campus that they get used to. There's somewhere to escape to in every part of the campus.
And if they'd rather find out about that sooner rather than later, how do they go about finding where are the quiet zones?
Oh, just come in. We do one-to-one campus tours all the time with students. No problem at all. So anyone who wants to contact for that can make contact with us.
Fantastic. And then depending on what building they're based in, they could be up in engineering or in nursing or whatever. It's different depending on where you are.
Yeah, we would skew the tour based on where
they study.
A copy of their timetable, and we go over that with them.
Fantastic. Great. Well, look, it's great chatting with you today, and we'll see you around. Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Well, guys, thanks for coming in. You're like the best students in the class, all in the front row. That won't be the case in September now. There'll be people hiding down the back. Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you remember what it was like to be a student?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you? How about you?
Well, vaguely.
Yeah, vaguely.
It's that long ago, hardly, but
yeah, back in the recesses of your memory. Well, look, it's great to invite you here. These are our tutors, and we have Miriam here beside me. Miriam runs the Academic Writing Centre, and we have Colin, our science tutor, and Brian, our business tutor, and Emer down the end, our maths tutor. Miriam, we might start with you.
Sure.
What happens in an Academic Writing Centre? What do you do in there?
So the Academic Writing Centre is here to support students with their writing and academic writing, which is a little bit different to writing essays that they might have done in secondary school. It's much more structured, but it's nice. And once you learn how to do it, it gets easier. So we're there to support them with that writing. We're there to support with referencing and the presentation of same.
Yeah. So presentation skills might need work as well. And
exactly.
I know you're keen on encouraging students to work in groups where they can, where they like that kind of learning environment, helping each other out and peer groups.
If possible, it's great to work in groups and you meet new friends and you get to know one another and you help out one another as well.
Yeah.
So working in groups is definitely a plus. So my office is based on the D corridor. You can call in. There are drop-in days available. You can also email me, and you don't have to come on your own. You can come with your friends.
Exactly. Great. Or sometimes even class reps might come with an issue or challenge. You might put on a special workshop.
Yeah.
I know you're very flexible. Yeah. Absolutely. And there's online resuresources as well.
We have online resources.
Yeah.
We can also meet you online if you're not able to come down to the office. So we're there to facilitate the student in any way we can.
Yeah. So now, let me get this right. If I have an assignment that's due in, do I just give it to you, or what happens?
No, you come down and you talk to me.
Okay.
And we'll work through whatever the issues are.
Yeah.
And if you feel that maybe you find it difficult to reference, for example, I'll help you with that, and I'll show you how it should be done.
Yeah.
And I'll give you guidance and support. And we have a Moodle page, which is an e-learning platform. So all our resources are on that platform, and you can use it anytime you want. It's freely available.
So you can really build your skill then. It's like a muscle that you're learning to work out. Yeah. I think it's kind of like making a cake. You're going to show people the recipe of how to make the cake.
Exactly.
Be that structuring or going about their assignment. Excellent. Oh, good. I hope it tastes nice at the end of it. Great. I might just turn to you, Colin, and tell us about your job. You're the science tutor.
Yeah.
You're the mad scientist, is it?
So I have my moments, have my days. But just kind of going on the back of what Miriam said.
Yeah.
Support is kind of the key thing. So, that's what I'm there to do. So if you're struggling, let's say, in any kind of aspect of science, whether you're working in the biotech side or you're veterinary nursing, any kind of issues that come up. So mainly chemistry people struggle with. But,
And sometimes people don't do it for the leaving cert, but yet they might have to do it when they get in here.
Exactly.
So it's about closing the gap, is it?
Yeah, and I suppose you hear chemistry and you kind of go rocket science, whatever. It's not that intimidating, but I suppose that kind of first step, and maybe if you miss a step along the way, that's what I'm there for. So very much like what Miriam said. Send me an email, come down, we schedule something, come down in a group, get your class rep to contact me. It's colin.mohan@toos.ie or it's sciencetutor@toos.ie.
Yeah. And we'll have a link tree on this video so people can get into all those resources through the link tree, and they'll be dotted around the place. People will be able to find out that information.
One thing I will say, definitely contact me early.
Yeah.
Because
yes.
if you're kind of struggling at the start, it's better to kind of get nailed down good and early. So it gives you a bit more confidence as well, you know.
And putting your head in the sand won't make it any better.
No, the week before the exams isn't any good to you, you know.
Yeah,
if you contact me, let's say, a couple of months even before the
Yeah,
exams.
and you can help pace people.
Exactly. And I'll be there to support you along the way. You know?
And like Miriam, you're able to see groups as well as one-to-ones and stuff like that. And
I think it's good that kind of peer environment. Something you mightn't know, but you're kind of maybe afraid to ask. Someone else might ask, or you can kind of discuss afterwards and kind of helping yourselves learn.
Yeah.
You know, it's a nice environment we have, you know.
That's brilliant.
There's a kettle and biscuits in the corner as well. So
that's illegal. Did you know that?
Well,
I hope estates aren't looking at this video. Cut. They can bring the biscuits. Students bring the biscuits. Yeah, mind that figure of yours there, Brian. And you were saying about coming early and getting in early. Like, in a way, would students be mad not to? It's free grinds. They paid for it in their student contribution fee. So you may as well.
Take advantage of what's there for you.
Yeah, no one's going to make you. No one's going to make you do it.
No, absolutely. But students, you get anything for free, it's positive. So
absolutely.
They're getting help to get through just maybe one or two exams. You know, maybe every subject's going really well, apart from one or two.
Brilliant.
They're the two to kind of come down.
And to encourage your friends, spread the word.
Absolutely.
Tell it, come with your friends or spread the word. Yeah. The other piece as well is that sometimes people think, oh, will Colin or Miriam tell my teachers or my lecturers that I'm in here getting help? Can you assure people about the division then between tutoring and
Come here, it's completely confidential. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's Joe, I'm literally there to support you and to help you get through.
We want you to succeed.
Absolutely. I really have no ties. Do you know? I'm only there to look after the student and try to really encourage them and to get them, structure is a big thing, you know, and confidence. So if you have confidence in ability, maybe it's the one or two steps.
That's half the battle sometimes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they might meet friends as well coming in the group classes. It's a great way to meet people, like Miriam was saying.
To kind of consolidate bits that you've missed. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Maybe you didn't understand something fully.
Okay, perfect.
And sometimes lecturers will ask me to come to their classes.
Oh, yes.
If that's the case. I can do a workshop, but that it still doesn't say that a student can't come to me at another time.
Yeah.
And nobody is going to know.
Yeah, that's great.
It's just between us.
Good. And tell me, Brian, what happens in the world of business and hospitality and all of that? How do you help?
I'm the business tutor for the Faculty of Hospitality, Business and Accounting.
Yeah.
So if you're doing any kind of a module under them three different areas, you can come to me for tutoring.
Yeah.
So again, similar, it's groups, it's individuals, we one-to-one, whatever the student needs.
Yeah, great. So do you help them prepare for exams then? Would you show them exam papers and stuff like that?
Exam papers towards the end, but what we do is we break up the module into different topics, and I'll take the student week by week, or in the groups week by week, it's all the same, and we'll cover the topic as we go along. I'm like 2 weeks behind the lecturer. Now come towards the exam time, usually about 2 weeks before the exam, I'll start to the past papers.
And focusing on that.
Focus just on the past papers.
Yeah.
I run revision classes. Say we have a 12-week teaching program. Week 13 will be reading week. I'll run revision classes all week.
Fantastic. Thanks, Brian. And we'll turn to Emer now next. Hi, Emer.
Hi, Sarah. Thanks. Hi, my name is Emer Coughlin. I am the maths tutor here in the TUS Midlands Athlone campus. So I am a maths tutor for all departments. So for science, engineering, any business related subjects that are pure maths, hospitality, anything like that. So I provide tutorials year round. So they're free service, free of charge. So if you have any issues with any core maths subjects, because I know maths isn't everyone's favourite subject, you can just give me a shout. So basically, I provide one-on-one service if need be, or group tutorials. I will also call into the classrooms in first year, just be like, hi, this is who I am, put kind of I suppose a face to the name. And you can contact me at emer.coughlin@tus.ie. So, or if you see me around the corridor or come up to my room, I am in V302, and yeah, just knock on the door and give me a shout if you see me. So thanks very much.
Guys, I really appreciate your time today. Do you know what? I wish you were here when I was in college, because I could have done with it, especially you, Emer. But look, thanks again, and we'll see you around, and I know you're friendly faces for the students to get to know while they're here. All based on the D corridor, all in a nice row, and you can go into any one of them. Sometimes you'll see a sign on the door to say that they're busy, they're in with the students, so just keep an eye on that. If you have any questions, you can go to the end of the corridor there to our main reception admin office, and they'll be able to direct you to either to make an appointment or help you with a general query that you might have. Just in here to the right is where Miriam and Colin hang out all the time, waiting for you to visit them. Academic writing support and the science tutor in here. And on this side, we have our assistive technology room, which is fantastic support for students with disabilities, access to software, computers, all of that. It's a nice quiet space to study as well. And as we continue down the corridor here, a place you will definitely need to know about is our unisex toilets. So non-gender specific toilet. Gender specific, anybody can go in here and use these toilets. Oh, there's Sinead. How is Sinead? How are you? You're heading into your reception office?
Yes, yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
Sinead,
meeting everyone.
Sinead works with our other administrator in here, and they'll be able to help you with queries when you're coming about. And the great thing is, we're just off the canteen. It's so helpful because you'll be able to get your cappuccino or your chunky chips, your curry fries. You can come in there, chat with us in the reception on the D corridor, or pop into the library, which is just over here beside me as well. And then the lockers are all here. Now, the Students' Union will be telling you about how to get a locker. Those details will all be provided to you. But then depending where you're based, you might have a locker up in science or engineering, you know, depending what suits. I'm going to tell you everything today because it's just a bit overwhelming. The only thing I want you to know today is that we're all really friendly, really nice, really professional and approachable, and we'll help you get the answers that you need as you come here. So speaking of answers, I want to tell you about a couple of housekeeping things. If you're driving to campus, you're going to need a permit, and the way to get a permit, it's only €20, not worth risking clampers. Go on to the APCOA website and select TUS Midlands Athlone campus for your permit, or else you can go in through the main TUS website. Just look at TUS Athlone campus parking, and that's how you do it. It's scanned on, they scan your registration, so when the clampers are going around, they'll see who has paid and who has not, and you have to stick to the student zones. Don't park in the staff zones, and vice versa. Staff won't do that there. Other practical things is get to know your environment. The bus stop's out here. What's what out on the road. Lidl is just down the road. We have any amount of restaurants and all that fabulous stuff. There's a bar being constructed across the road, which I'm sure you might find your way to, some of you. And the main thing is, don't be a stranger. If you're stuck, come and ask us a question. We're happy to help you. Everybody's just trying to find their feet, and you'll find that staff are really, really helpful.
And we very helpfully have honed a 7-week programme called Connect and Engage, which you can look forward to when you arrive. 7 different weeks, all themed around subjects that you're going to need to know about. Fun activities, events, workshops, clinics, information sessions, you name it. It's all ahead of you, and we're looking forward to you becoming fully immersed in Connect and Engage. And any further information you might need to know would be available here on our link tree. It's all under handy topics. These all lead back to the website. You can go in there either. And don't forget, you can always call in because there's always a friendly face there to meet you. So without further ado, we'd like to wish you the very, very best and looking forward to seeing you for induction. Bye-bye now.